Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's Ranger and me, the off-grid warrior. Hey, buddy. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Let me know in chat, guys, if you can hear me. It's been a while. Good to see a whole bunch of names, familiar names and friends. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody listen to Mr. Gas Gas. Yeah, let me know in chat, guys. Can you hear me? Let me know. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, yeah, it's me and Ranger. The last minute as I was setting up for the stream, I gave in to Ranger because he could tell that I was setting up for the stream, and as soon as I press play for the intro and the music starts playing, he knows it's time, it's stream time, and he was just insistent on getting up on the bench here. So I eventually dug through some smelly laundry and found his smelly blankie to put on the bench here. And so it's the sweet sounds of the generator in the background and the stinky dog blanket. That's okay. That's my burden to bear. Okay, guys. Good to see everybody. Okay, who have we got here in chat? Tomahawk. Testing 1, 2, 3. Tomahawk, good to see you, sir. Thanks for swinging by. Natal, good to see you too. Who we got? Mr. Artiford. Thank you for swinging in, sir. I did see you had sent me a few messages there, I think, on YouTube comments, and I saw them. I haven't got to them. Thank you for checking in, and it's good to see you. What else we got going on over here? Chris James, good evening to you, sir. Thanks for swinging by, man. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, it has been a while, not only since you've caught alive, but I think, guys, what has it been? 4 weeks, a month, maybe 5 weeks? Definitely a month of no streaming from me. So it's been a while. Chris, you really didn't miss much. Stephen C. Good to see you again. I can't remember what I decided on your name, if it's Stefan or Stephen. Pardon me. Mr. Gas Gas, good to see you. A good old member, not old in age, but you know, you've been around the channel for a while. Good to see you, Mr. Gas Gas. Thank you for swinging in. What else we got here? Tony Gilbert. Howdy, folks. Tony Gilbert, welcome. Thank you for swinging by. We got Mustardy. Who else is here? We got the sound check-ins. Angel Does It is in the house, so to speak. Cheers from Oregon. Well, thank you for swinging by, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know. You got to be one or the other. Okay, what did I miss here? Tony, you got a generator. What kind? I've been looking at older mil-spec models. I want one with wheels and a hitch so I can move it around. Tony Gilbert, I've got a Generac, a fairly modern Generac. It's the IQ 34 3500. It's kind of a square, it's cube-like. And it's pretty quiet. And I like it. It's been good so far. It's only gone through... has it been through a winter yet? Maybe half a winter and a summer. So it's going well. I like it. Before that, I had a small Generac, a 2000 watt Generac, and that's my standby now. But and then I have an even bigger generator. It's a gas and propane generator, which I haven't really fired up yet. It's a big monster, the top that's in a frame, and it's very loud. But it's another backup. Jason Allen, checking in, your brother. Hope you're well and doing good. And the pups. Jason, doing good, thank you. Yeah, guys, there's actually snow outside my window right now. The ground is white. It's a dusting, but things are white. A lot of the branches, most of the branches I'm looking at, branches or branches. See, I still can't quite make up what language I speak. A lot of the branches have, a white dusting. All the palm trees and everything around here has got a good coating of, a good dusting of snow. Just started this afternoon, late afternoon. Actually, what are we, 5:38? Yeah, this afternoon, about 3 p.m. Who else we got here? Mike P47, howdy. Greetings, Mike. Thanks for swinging by. Jim, watching from the sidelines. Jim, that's the best way to watch. Most of my watching of anything is done from the sidelines. Tony Gilbert, yeah, diesel is the way to go for me, but I have a 4x4 solar panel I needed to use, but I need a battery packs for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to a diesel generator. I like quiet generators, guys. I don't like loud generators that attract everybody from a mile away. So I'm all into stealthy living, shall we say. Okay, guys, so I think what we'll do is we'll get the video going. A lot of what has happened is explained in today's video. For those of you who don't know and perhaps new to the channel, I sort of film my shenanigans and things I do up here in the mountain, living off-grid. No water, no electrical grid. And I'm pretty much in the boonies. And so I film it and I share it during the streams. And today's video, guys, is about 30 minutes. And I just want to warn you, for those of you who aren't dog people or pet people or don't care about pets, somewhere in the middle, you might want to go tune out, make your coffee and go somewhere because for about 8 minutes, I go on about my dog situation. And I only realized after the editing, I was like, man, that's 8 minutes of me just jabbering about my dogs. But, I think it fits in with what's been going on up here and lifestyle. So I left it in. So when you see me on my quad and I start talking about dogs, you've got 8 minutes to go and, make some tea or something. Pour yourself a glass of milk. Catch up on the interwebs. Anyways, I think we'll start the video, guys. Like I say, it's about, I think, might even be more than 30 minutes. It might be 38 minutes. 35 minutes, somewhere around there. Anyways, what did I miss here before we go to the video? Eugene. Only way to live, love it, bro. Stealthy. Eugene, welcome. I don't think I've seen your name before, but hey, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I like to think of creating a small footprint is what I'm really into nowadays, Be quiet, stay quiet, mind my own business, do my own thing. Because quite frankly, I look at what's going on out there and I just see garbage, guys. So there you go. Hopefully I queued up the video and so again, for those of you that are new, we'll be watching the video. Feel free to drop in chat. I like it when you guys comment. If you have any questions about what you're seeing, what's going on, any comments. I don't even mind constructive criticism, folks. Yeah, I'm a big boy. I got broad-ish shoulders. So, constructive criticism, I might learn something. So feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll be watching chat. And, drinking my coffee, guys. I think this is... tomorrow I have to go into town, or pretty soon. If I want more coffee, I'm going to have to do a trip into town. So I'm enjoying the last couple coffees that I have here. Okay, well, Eugene, welcome. What else we got here? Hotel. Oh, here we go. Hotel Alpha. Gotcha. Hey, OGW, just happened to come on YouTube and see you were live. Glad to see you back. Got your messages. I'll reply back soon. Right on. Good to see you. Okay, guys, feel free to keep it going in chat, and I'll be reading chat and seeing what you guys have to say. Oh, I should add one more thing, guys. I've created another chat that I'm working on. It's a little chat app at offgridwarrior.com/TV. I should put that link in here. And I'm looking for a few testers. I need a few folks to go to my site, sign up so you can use the chat and perhaps use the chat. Let me just show you what I'm doing here. So coming in now, you should see a new chat over there. And that chat is located on my website. I'll drop the link in now. And if any of you have time or are up to it, I'm looking for testers. Head over there, sign up, register, log in, and use the chat. Hopefully it works, but I need testers. I need you guys to let me know if it works for you. And, I want to have another option besides YouTube. I know a lot of people out there don't like using YouTube chat. They don't necessarily want to sign up. They want to chat, but they don't want to do the whole YouTube sign up thing. So this is another way for you folks who aren't big fans of YouTube to kind of join in the chat. So please, guys, those who are up for it, go and check it out. So let me grab the link now and sign up. Don't worry, I don't sell your information or anything. It's just me running the whole show. And let me know what you guys think and if the chat is working for you. Man, I'm losing track over here. Let's go paste. Okay. So that's the link, guys. Check it out. It's work in progress. There's a lot more things I want to do here coming up, and perhaps have some exclusive streams and chats for kind of close friends and subscribers. Anyways, okay, let's go. Let's start this. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for swinging by. Let's start the video, and afterwards we can chat some more. Oh, let's go. And let me know once the video gets going, guys, if the audio is good and everything else is fine. All right. Cheers. Okay, let's go. Do it. This is what happens when a dog gets hold of underpants. They become holy. And not in a spiritual way either, you know. Literally holy. So we're moving some wood today. Working on the wood shed, getting stocked for winter. Wood splitting. Really like to put the whole woodshed and winter wood thing behind me, so I can maybe enjoy these last few weeks of coolness and kind of doing other more fun things. Not that this isn't fun, but it's just nice to get it done, not be worrying about firewood for winter. That's the goal. We're still chug-a-lugging in that direction. Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's me, the off-grid warrior, and scout, and ranger. Of course, ranger appears as soon as he hears me talking. He's like, who are you talking to? I must be part of it. Anyways, today we're wiring up an additional 100-watt panel. I've had this panel for 4 years, never used it. It just gets moved around all the time. Because up to date, my power needs have pretty much been, easy to take care of. I primarily run on a solar Bluetti solar generator that I've had for a while, and I think it's starting to take it's degraded significantly and doesn't seem to last very long. And which is fine. I have used it almost every single day for at least 3 years. It's had a good run. It probably works more than what it's supposed to. But we're at the point now where I need to get maximum solar panels going into my solar batteries that I have, that I use occasionally. But now I need to use more. And we're going into winter, so there's going to be even less sunlight. I really need to move these panels elsewhere, probably behind the cabin, elevated. That's not today's project though, but we need to get all panels hooked up and ready for the upcoming season of no sunlight. Sounds kind of counterproductive, doesn't it? But we want to maximize the little bit of sunlight we're going to get, so that's the plan. So more juice. Well, it's a beautiful afternoon. A little bit of a smoky haze in the sky. We have fires on 3 corners at least. Thought I'd come up to the gym and work out a few emotions. That's how we roll out here, Get it done. I have managed to borrow the tool that will facilitate a shock replacement. Never done this before. I guess we'll find out how it all goes. Does it fit underneath here? Okay. Hopefully I don't make the problem worse than what it already is. Well, I guess we'll all find out together. Okay, we're off the ground. Okay, well, there she goes. Now compress this. Oh yeah. Oh well, okay. Let's see how difficult it is to get the new used one on here. Let's just go ahead here. Physically the same, but differing model and serial part numbers. Okay. Okay, looks like we're hopefully good to go. Tighten things up and put this here snowmobile down. See what happens. I'm well known to over tighten nuts to the point where they break. I've actually broken lug nuts on a vehicle. I won't get into details, but little overzealous sometimes with my tightening, so don't want to do that again. Let's just say I'm a terrible judge of how hard I need a wrench on something. Over wrenching is my middle name. Okay, let's lower this thing and see how she sits. She's a little lopsided before, and hopefully the people I bought the shock from didn't give me a bum shock. Hopefully it holds out. Let's go down. Oh well, I like that already. Hey! We have a snowmobile that's not leaning to one side. Thank you, Lord. Please let me get through another winter with no issues to the snowmobile. That's a huge load off my mind, guys. Another thing ticked off the list, get done before winter. Woo! Well, guys, you think you fix one thing and you discover, hang on, here's another thing. I was taking a look at the suspension after replacing the shock, and yeah, I noticed that the rear, when you compress it down, is pretty much well, nothing happens. Pull it up, push down. Doesn't rebound, slightly, but pretty much no rebound. If I pull her up, and let's just get on the seat, get off. I'm gonna, not being a snowmobile pro, I'm gonna say this rear shock, or the tensioner, something is not working as it should. Yep, no rebound there. I don't know, guys. It's not one thing, it's another. I know, another $100 and something I don't have. Buddy, really? Why do you not come to me when I call you? What is your dealio? What is your dealio, buddy? Well, greetings and salutations, guys and girls. It's yeah, Ranger and me, and no Scout. Yeah, I eventually did the deed, guys. It was a difficult decision to make. The last time I felt like I do now was, I don't know, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I feel like yeah, not ideal. And a lack of words. I made the decision to take Scott to the shelter. I've actually been to the shelter 3 times. Today was the 3rd time. And the first time I went, they told me they didn't have space. The second time I went, they were closed. And you know, both those times I left with Scout feeling better about myself, or feeling better about the situation. Like, okay, buddy, you're saved. But I've been struggling a little bit with, you know, the 2 dog situation. They're very, very different dogs. And when we go for these runs, typically one runs north, the other one runs south. Scout is a very loving dog, but he's also a dog that doesn't listen very well. One could argue that, well, you spent no time training him, and that's true. But his very strong personality, and I already have a dog with a very strong personality that runs when he can. Hey, come here. And having 2 dogs like that has just been a bit of a headache at times. Also, I had to put on my grown-up hat and stop thinking with my emotions. And that is, I struggled last year getting through winter, feeding myself and just one big dog. And so it's been a little bit of a struggle fest and concern these last few months with keeping 2 large dogs fed. You know, the one bag of dog food that I'm used to purchasing disappears pretty quick with 2 big dogs. And I've been having to portion out their meals, give them sort of medium bowls. 2 big dogs that run a lot and work a lot, give them medium dogs to kind of stretch out the bags of food. So that's another issue, you know, affording 2 large dogs. And Another factor is just not that I go anywhere often, guys. I barely leave this mountain, but having 2 dogs, I really get locked down with travel. If I do have something that comes up that requires me to travel, I'm thinking work-wise, taking on a job, it's really difficult to manage 2 large dogs, a grown man and a van. I can do overnights with 1 dog in the van. 2 dogs is just not reality for me. So there's that. So that's really the 3 primary issues, guys. These dogs have run away several times now. Scout has actually been pretty good. He'll disappear for 30 minutes and then reappear. Ranger I have to eventually go looking for after many hours. Normally I will find him, but quite often he just doesn't come home unless I go find him. So 2 dogs like this is just too much of a challenge for me, guys. So Scout really did have some good attributes that I was really looking for in a dog that Ranger just doesn't have. Hey, come here. You know, Ranger's a hound, so his brain is his nose, and it's very difficult to travel with Ranger. He's anxious the entire trip. He won't settle down for hours in the vehicle. Road trips are quite, let's just say I get to the other end of a road trip and I'm feeling pretty anxious myself because of my dog's behavior. He'll whine for hours in a vehicle. Scout, on the other hand, was very calm. He would lay down in the van and just happily stare at the scenery. Very calm. I could put him on a leash and he would settle down. Ranger does not settle down on a leash. He's anxious, will whine. So, and Scout was very loving, you know. Very loving. I'd go out in the evenings and give him a pet and, you know, sit with him while Ranger was inside. And he would just absolutely sit there with me and stare at the moon, very calm and content, just enjoying the companionship, both of us. It's very difficult to get that out of Ranger. You know, he's just always constantly trying to lick me to death and anxious. But, you know, Ranger I've had since he is a puppy. We have almost 3 years up here together now, and the thought did strike me to trade him out, but that wouldn't be fair on Ranger. Also, there's no ways I can spend a winter up here with 2 dogs, 2 large dogs in a very small cabin. Scout has been sleeping outside. I don't let him inside, or haven't let him inside. But there's no ways I can do that in winter. It gets a little brutal and grizzly up here, as you guys can imagine, in winter. And I don't think it'd be fair to put Scout through that kind of existence. And it would be very, very challenging. A guy and 2 dogs in a tiny cabin all winter. So anyways, guys, that's the Scout story. Not to seem dramatic, but it was difficult, guys. I may or may not have shed a tear or 2 when I left. It was very, very difficult. But you know, sometimes we just have to put on our big boy pants and, you know, make smart decisions, not emotional ones. Well, times are a-changing. Hey, buddy, what you doing? I guess I need to pay attention to what's happening on the interwebs more often. I just found out that tonight we have a winter storm warning, which in itself may mean something or may not. Sometimes I do get the weather wrong. But usually with these winter storm warnings, usually something, at least something does happen. So we've got a bit of work to do. I've been languishing these last couple months. Well, I won't say languishing, but focusing on one or two things as opposed to the 10 things. So we're going to try and get the other 8 things taken care of today, or at least most of them. All the stuff that's on the ground and loose and metal, chains and tools, all need to get under cover. We need to do a little bit of a pickup. Things like that need to be picked up and put away. Primarily just get all the loosey-goosey stuff that's on the ground and around the cabin packed and organized. Also, certain things need to be under cover. Tools that I leave out, like shovels and rakes, need to go under cover. So, yeah, a little bit of a push today to get things, under control. So we're supposed to be seeing lows in the 20s, hitting the 20s, and also snow. Crazy. That's all supposed to start happening or changing this evening. So we're going to get a little head start here. It's noon. Ranger's whining, but we got to get her done. Ready, Ranger? I'm really trying to get the most out of this tarp, guys. I think we'll have to make our wood pile a little shorter. Oh. How to salvage the tarp. Get out of this. And don't be laughing at my old man pads, okay? Well, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a big divot over here, and our friend Scout, Mr. Scout, really enjoyed digging. He would dig holes every single day, and I'd wake up every morning and there'd be new holes. And so this is some of Scout's work underneath here. We're gonna just try and level it out, because I'll be stacking a bunch of stuff over here for winter protection. I don't even think those are matching shelves. Why are we keeping these, Ranger? Probably because we've got nowhere else to put them. This is a shelf unit here. Got another pile underneath the brown top there. And I need to go somewhere, and I think this will be the spot, the old cucumber bed. So we're going to pull up all these cucumbers, throw the cucumbers that are remaining to the chickens. Of course, the beets will be coming out real soon. Tomatoes, I know you tried real hard. If we're going to get a big freeze for a couple days, I don't know what's going to happen with the tomatoes. Oh, good. But right now, clear cucumber bed, throw sticks on bed. That's the plan. Let's go. Oh, the chickens are going to enjoy that. And that. And that. So what I'm packing now, this is what I use for kindling. On those off days where I have some time, I will cut these into pieces, probably about 10 inches long. And this is what I use, particularly when I melt the snow for my shower water. I will start the fire with these guys. Get it raging sooner rather than later. So I'll put it somewhere nearby like this, so we can have it on hand to get the shower water fire going. The hot water on demand system. Well guys, we're prepping the shower water before the freeze, the potential freeze. You can definitely see the weather yonder is changing. So we're going to get some water in the shower pots, ready to be warmed up and heated up. Who knows what's going to happen with water and water tanks. Hope for the best. After this, once I've filled a few buckets of water, I'm going to drain the hose. Yeah. Good old shower water. Okay. Shower water ready to go. Yeah, as you can see, we're pretty high tech around here. Why am I? What could I be doing on the roof? I wonder what I could be up to up here. Yes. It's been a while, roof. I'll be seeing a lot more of you pretty soon. Hello? No one's home. Didn't feel too bad. I think we're back. Well, that's it, guys. That was the last several weeks. Let me know if you can hear me in chat. Yeah, sorry if I wasn't able to answer your question there. If you asked one, I should probably get the the spectacles so I can see chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. I apologize if I missed your chat, guys. If somebody asked a question. Mike P, you asked me about a filter, gravity filter, and I think I answered you something about my shower. I apologize. I'm not sure what gravity filter you're talking about, or if you're referring to my shower bag that was hanging up in that scene. So let me know if I didn't make any sense or misread your question. I haven't at any time had a gravity filter of any sort. Okay, where are we? Yes, you can hear me. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. So, yeah, guys, I'm here for a while. We can chat. You got any questions? Anything you want to suggest with what you saw? I'm here. We're into the chat phase of this. Yeah, hopefully my rant about the whole dog situation, man, that just droned on for way too long, but hopefully you guys got through that. Yeah. Guys, I am putting a link in the chat right now. If anybody is able to support the channel or help me out in any way, please feel free to use the link that I've just dropped in chat. As those of you who have been around for a while know, I hate shilling myself or asking for support or pointing out buttons or asking you to click this or do that. But occasionally I do drop these links into chat. So hopefully you guys who can help out will consider that. Okay, what we got here? What questions did I miss? If you had something important, guys, that you wanted to talk about or mention in chat, now would be the time to do it. Instead of me trying to go backwards into chat, which I'm going to do anyways, but feel free to drop something in. Thank you, Tomahawk. Appreciate that, man. I actually had a lot more video footage, as you can imagine, but it didn't all get into the edit. I don't want to bore you guys for like 2 hours. I should actually, I know a lot of people have asked me about this, what happened, where did you go, why weren't you streaming? I've had a few people reach out to me. Well, my computer fizzed out on me, I don't know, whatever it was, 5 weeks ago now. I was actually getting ready the morning of the stream, or the evening before actually, doing the thumbnails and things like that. And the computer just went on the fritz, just died on me. And I did some testing, and it turns out the internal power supply unit had just died on me, burnt out. And I'm not surprised, guys, because with 2 dogs here over the season, I've had a lot of dust in the cabin. I'm always fighting dust. It's like I can wipe a surface, and 2 minutes later, there's a layer of dust on there. It's a little less now that the season's changing, and I only have 1 dog. But I think the computer case inside the desktop, it just sucked in a lot of gas dust. I'd been going periodically into the computer case and cleaning things out with a rag and, blowing the fans out, trying to get dust out of the fans. And I think over time, it just burnt out. The dust may have burnt out the power supply. Anyways, long story short, a good friend of mine, and I'm pretty blessed and lucky, a good friend of mine just out of the blue as a surprise, helped me get a power supply for the computer, and I only got it in a few days ago. So I'm back up and running on the computer. So I do have an old laptop which I tried to use. It's an old Celeron laptop, and I've had it for about 12 years. And quite frankly, it just wasn't cutting the mustard, or is it cheese? I don't know, one of those. It could barely edit video. So Anyways, back up and running. That's my long story. I'm done now about the computer. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I dropped off the map. Okay. Hey, Mike P, thank you for the little test on offgridwarrior.com/TV. Thanks for logging in there and setting up an account and trying the chat. If more of you guys can do that, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to get as many people on there trying to use it and dropping something into chat to kind of stress test it. So if you can, check that out. Okay. Where are we? Tony, how's the game where you are looks chock full of deer to me? You asked me about hunting season. Yeah, yes, there will be meat. I just I leave the hunting stuff to the hunting bros. There's a few things I do up here that I just separate from sharing. Because as soon as I start talking about hunting or firearms or anything related, I get all kinds of, let's just say, and I've learned this over the years, guys, let's just say I have people who begin to reach out to me asking me silly stuff. And, I'll let the hunt pro bros, those are the guys you can go to for that stuff. I just like to exist and, do what I need to do to, exist and eat. But, I've had people get very upset with me just cutting down a tree. So, as soon as I start posting or sharing stuff with, critters being eaten, you can imagine the weirdos that come out of the recesses of the internet. Oh, yeah. Tony Gilbert, yeah, animals make dust, lol, that's part of the deal. Yeah, well, I live in a dust bowl. I don't have any lawn or nice grass outside. It's just dust. And with two dogs playing and tearing things up, Scout was quite the digger. It was just plumes of dust in here all the time. Tomahawk, do you have any new pictures on the wall? No, I don't, Tomahawk. I do have a few extra cards, but they're kind of giant. There's one or two that need to go up. But hey, guys, yeah, if anybody wants to mail me cards, I'm not shilling for donations. Now, if you want to send me a card, a picture of yourself, I always say the same thing, if maybe you in your young days, you're ramping, you're doing like a sweet BMX ramp or something cool, send it to me. I'd like to start putting them up on the wall here. Those of you who still, occasionally pick up a pen and write something, I do encourage you to write to me. My postal address is in the description to the video, and I really do, especially through winter, guys. There's nothing better than going to town, which I don't do often in winter. There might be 2 or 3 weeks between me going into town. It's really nice to go into town and get a few letters or postcards. So if that's something you'd like to do, I can get you on the wall there as well. Anyways, where were we? Tony, I got a wrist rocket with a fishing attachment I'm going to use later this month. A wrist rocket? Is that some kind of a fishing... some way to launch fishing line from your wrist? I have no idea what that is, but I'm guessing it's something like that. I'll be able to launch bait to the moon. I bet you will. I'm all about less is more. In the early days of being interested on, getting off grid and leaving the city, because, I was once upon a time one of those guys sitting at a desk staring at a computer screen, occasionally getting calls from the HR departments and so on. I was one of those slaves at some point, but I remember in preparation for going off grid and after I'd purchased property, I was purchasing a lot of trinkets and toys, which no longer exist. Most of the stuff is gone. It was a useful toy for 10 seconds, and then I just got rid of it. It went away. I'm all about less is more now. So I try and stay away from the new fads and things. Well, let's be honest, guys. I can't really afford the new fads, so that's another reason why I stay away from them. There's only so many plastic thingamabobs and shiny doodads you could possibly own before they begin to own you. But I think you guys have heard me rant on this one, so I won't go there. Mr. Gas, I'm a PETA member. People eating tasty animals. Oh no, you used that word now. It's going to bring them in, Mr. Gas. A wrist rocket is a slingshot. Okay, gotcha. Bro, I thought you were in the UK. Now that I know you're here, I'll definitely send you a card for the wall from Maryland for sure. Okay, Tony Gilbert, I'll hold you to that, mate. Here we like to... We don't just like talkers, but we like doers, you know. There's talkers and there's doers. Yeah, I love cards, guys. I love reading good cards, good sentiment. Tell me your story. If you want to write me a letter, that's great. There's nothing better than sitting here with a fire going and I can open up a letter and there's a couple pages of, you know, handwritten text on a piece of paper and I can read it. One of the few joys... Well, there's a few more. There's a handful of joys. Mike Jam. Hello, friend. Have you worked on your water collection system? Mike Jam, have we chatted before? Yeah, I have somewhat of a water system here. It's let's just say it's not ideal for winter. We have, you know, sub-zero temperatures here. But I have water tanks that I collect rainwater off the roof. And for the most part, I either siphon water out of the tanks, my barrels. I have plastic barrels, the 50-gallon barrels. And then I have like a 240-gallon water tote at the back of the cabin on a hillside. So that's gravity fed. I water my little greenhouse and I take showers using the rainwater that I've caught. Drinking water, I do carry. I haul my drinking water, which is always a bit of a challenge in winter. But yeah, I have a very basic system. Mike Jam, for me, it's all about less is more, and you know, keep it as simple as possible. You know, the KISS method. So you know, basic systems are really what I'm all about. I don't like to overcomplicate things, and I definitely don't want to be too dependent on electricity and electrical systems. My cabin's wired like a boat. It's all DC. It's very simple. My lights are all USB. I have realized over the years, I think I've heard a lot of data about LED lights or LED lights, LED bulbs, and eyes degrading sooner rather than later. These LED lights are not good for eyesight as far as I understand and the data I've seen. But wow, I'm going on from water systems there. I can go down some tunnels, Mike Jam. Tony Gilbert, I'm all about the KISS, never failed me so far. Yep. Did you get rid of any of your bins? Mr. Gas, did I get rid of any of my bins? What bins are you talking about, Mr. Gas? We're talking about water bins? Trash bins? I'm not sure. Tom Hawk, I'll try to find an old photo of me, Jim Morrison's grave in Paris. I'll send you a GW. Mate, that's a pretty important photo. Maybe get a copy of it or something. Scan it and send it to me. Well, I can't print it out though. Dude, I'd love something like that. Yeah, I'd like the original wall here of just, you know, subscribers or friends of chat. All your stuff up here. That way I won't be lonely in winter, guys. That sounds cool, Tomahawk. Tony Gilbert, water systems are tested in winter. Yeah, well, I drain my water systems and we go full Neanderthal, you know, Catholic priests, you know, whipping themselves on their back to punish themselves. Well, I don't whip myself on my back, but I do like to punish myself through winter. I try to make it as hard and as difficult to live up here as possible. But yeah, there's no water in tanks up here, guys. In winter, I melt snow for my showers. Depending on what I'm doing, every second day I'll gather up some snow in my stainless steel pots. I'll build a fire. I'll melt the water. I pour it in the shower bag, and I bring that shower bag inside here. I have a shower stall. So I come inside and do my shower that way from melted snow. And then I drag the container out of the door and dump the water outside. So I can have a nice ski area right outside my door. Okay. Now, water system. Okay, where are we? Or of me LARPing in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, mate, I look forward to it, Tomok. We chatted before. You have made some great additions. Yeah, Mike Jam, it's been slow progress for me. I mean, there are some areas I would probably immediately upgrade and do better, but all of that stuff requires money. And I run a little to zero tight budget up here. So I do what I can when I can. I've got to build some steps before the snow flies. Well, it's already flown. But, I tend to hang on to things like wood and lumber that I find in places, and I hang on to it till I can use it for something. I haven't bought any new materials for some time. But, baby steps, Mike Jam. I do it as I can, when I can, if I've got the stuff. Only the tough can work in the Arctic Circle. I'm sure. I watched a documentary a while ago in the Siberian region somewhere. In the depths of winter, the guys logging, these industrial logging operations way up in Siberia somewhere. And man, that just looked brutal, operating 24-hour shifts of just logging out in the mountains, remote areas, with just 24-hour logging operations. And man, those guys were breaking equipment all the time. I tell you what, mechanics in the Arctic, those guys have their work cut out for them. It's brutal on machinery, not just man, but machinery too. Mike P, I work north of 60, sometimes outdoors. Yeah, Mike P, I don't know. Do you have a channel or some I don't know. Do you share anything online that we can tune into or check out? Sounds interesting. I understand if you don't, because, this whole social media thing is horrible. Your storage bins that you're fussing about months ago. Fussing about, yeah. Oh, you mean, I call them totes, plastic totes. Mr. Gas, storage bins. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've got them all packed away now. I managed to, I built the add-on, the addition to the side of the cabin. So it's like my mini garage now. It's just jam-packed with totes. So they're out of sight and out of mind, mostly. Paris looks like Baltimore. I must have missed something in conversation there, but I think you're probably right, Tomahawk. Baltimore looks better. Okay. All right, guys. LARPing. No, it's LARPing, Tomahawk. I know you were LARPing. We did a patrol with the Danish army one time. They were fun to work with. The Cold Boys. Yeah. Mr. Artiford, is the old snowmobile snow machine scrapped now? Yeah, Mr. Artiford, the snowmobile that you saw in the background there is actually not mine. When I first moved up here, someone was kind enough to say, hey, we've got an old snowmobile that's been laying in the woods. Maybe that'll work for you. So let's just say I put about almost $2,000 into that old snowmobile, because at the time it's the only thing that I had. And when I got up here for my first winter, And I put a lot of money into it. And let's just say when the motor eventually blew halfway through my second winter, I stopped putting money into it. So I think it would require somebody with some deep pockets or extensive knowledge of snowmobile, working on snowmobiles to fix it. Somebody with resources or a junkyard of snowmobiles to maybe fix it. But I'd just make the decision not to spend any more money on it. It's a pretty old snowmobile, and I think there just comes a time when you got to make a decision on whether you want to spend money on something that's going to continue to break down. So that's that snowmobile history. Is the old Mr. Arvid? Sorry, guys, I'm not even paying attention to the chat on the other side. I apologize, Mr. Arvid. Thank you for doing the test. I appreciate that. I see you did post something there. Let me just pull that up. Apologies, guys. I've got about 3 windows of text that's happening here in front of me. I somehow have to figure out how to pay attention to all of it, or to maybe bring it into one, which is probably not going to happen. But an old guy like me with my glasses staring at 3 windows of text, it's a little overwhelming. Let's just see if I can catch up on what you guys were saying. Mike P on offgridwarrior.com/TV. Only trouble is the emails go to spam. Okay, guys, if you do sign up for the offgridwarrior.com/TV chat page, that URL might change. If you do sign up, check your email trash, all right? It looks like the emails confirming that you signed in or have signed up, it looks like those emails go directly to your trash bin. So thanks for pointing that out, Mike P. The chat AI on the other side is getting a bit censory. A lot of stuff I've said doesn't come through, so profanity or anything. Yeah, well, that's what's happening, Mike. I mean, I prefer not seeing profanity, even though I used to once be, let's just say, a sailor. And for many years, I had the mouth of a sailor. And when I'm at my worst, something might come out. But, I'd prefer not to see that. But as far as having opinions about other topics and being able to freely discuss whatever you want to within reason, I'm all for that. So that's one of the reasons why I built this chat, so that folks can feel free to kind of be free with chat. I suggest you start a wish list off the big e-commerce side, easier to send you stuff. Yeah, thanks, Mike P. I might consider that. I'm not a guy that has a lot of things on a wish list. I'm really just about paying for gas, keeping Starlink paid, feeding my dogs and myself. I do need a battery charger, though. Mr. Artiford, thank you for doing the test, sir. I see you there. Thank you. Thank you, guys, for testing this chat out. I'll get better with this, I promise. Okay, back to the YouTube chat. Which page was I? I'm clicking like 7 icons to get back here. Okay, got you. Sorry, guys. Where were we on chat? Danish Patrol. I still have social media. Wait, hang on. Is the old snow machine scrapped now? Well, it's not mine, remember. That machine doesn't belong to me, but I doubt the actual owner of the machine will be fixing it, is interested in fixing it. And actually, if I remember correctly, they asked me if I'd be able to get rid of it. So I guess it's safe to say it's scrap, Mr. Artiford. Why, are you looking for a snowmobile? Are you looking for a project? That one's definitely a project. There's a lot wrong with it besides a blown motor. Tomahawk, lol, LARPing, yeah. Long range LARPing. Tony Gilbert, how are fuel prices out there? I don't know what they are, but I will tell you that it cost me $20 to fill up a 5-gallon gas container. Now, I will add, gentlemen, that I only buy ethanol-free, high-octane gas. And some of you may say, well, that's silly. It's been my experience over the years that if I want small engines to last as long as possible, I found that they run better, they run cleaner, and they last longer if I use ethanol-free, high-octane. So when it comes to my chainsaws, that's what I use. And when it comes to my generator, which I depend on through winter, that's what I use. So I know we are now at the point of $20, pretty much on the money, $20 for 5 gallons of gasoline for me. I'm stocking fuel myself, some need for duck season. Stocking fuel is always good. I'd always say, particularly looking at what's happening right now, I would say having maybe a 50-gallon steel tank in your garage or somewhere at home with gasoline that you can rotate on a regular basis, keep topped up and just rotate it, get a tap on it. That's probably a good place to be. Was happy to know you got the van running again. Yeah, Tomahawk, me too. And I gotta thank you for the video that you sent me on that. Yeah, Tomahawk actually sent me a very good video on what the potential problem was on the van, and it turned out to be a very simple O-ring that I had to replace on one of the lines. So thanks to that video, I was able to, do it myself. I had to go buy myself a little 90-degree pick and the O-rings, obviously, but we got her done. Thank you. Mike Jem, how's your firewood supply? Firewood is A-okay. I would say I've got probably about a dozen more rounds to split. And I'll be good. My winter firewood should be good. Now, I had an old-timer recently tell me, and this is somebody who's lived in this area for a long time, said that he thinks this winter is going to be long and much colder and more snow than last year. So we'll see. But I'm pretty prudent with my firewood, guys. I only use my firewood. I only make a fire when I'm really cold. I tend to dress as warm as possible. Even if it's cold in here, I'll put on, I'll just put on clothing. I'll layer up. Right now it's 63 in here. It's 35 outside and 63 inside. And typically I don't start a fire till I see like 39 degrees inside, 40 degrees inside. That's when I start a fire. Again, I'm like, I like to punish myself, guys. Whips to the back all the time. Tony Gilbert, a sailor, huh? I'll keep that in mind. Always good to see another sea dog. Yeah. Yeah, Tony, but don't send me rum, all right? My rum days are over. Hotel Alpha, thank you, Tomahawk, doing what you can to help. Yeah, Tomahawk's been a good supporter of the channel, guys. Thank you, Tomahawk. Mike Jam, we were about $2.90 per gallon of gas here in NH. $2.90. Wow. Good times, guys. And not that this channel's definitely, we don't want to cover, really, I don't want to cover certain things on this channel. We will be able to on offgridwarrior.com eventually. But I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what's been going on Friday, just with the economics and certain decisions. It's very interesting. I'd say if you've got silver or gold now, hang on to it. Where are we? Tony Gilbert, hey, I got into the thing, but I can't use chat. What's going on? Tony Gilbert, well, you got to sign up. When you get to the chat, there's a way to register. First, you have to register. Click the register link and just follow the prompts on the screen. You have to give your email address and create a password. And then my site is going to send an email to your email with further instructions on how to log in and to confirm that it's you. Just know that the email you sent from my site might go into your trash or spam folder, wherever your email is, all right? So check your spam and trash after signing up or registering on my site. That's all I can tell you for now. Put a little gat in your van. A gat? Put a little gat in your van. Mr. Gas, in my lingo, gat means firearm. So I'm not sure. Did I miss something there? Put a little... Oh, were you talking about gas? Gas, maybe? Stephen C. Mike Jam, where? Okay. Tony, never mind, lol. Linux had to refresh. Linux. I've actually been thinking about switching to Linux, guys. Microsoft is definitely into some weird shenanigans with capturing your data and storing it somewhere on Windows. So I've been considering Linux, but I'm not sure if it'll be able to run OSB and video card drivers. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. That's a whole nother topic. I won't go there. Silver is over $50. Right. Silver and gold. Actually, I don't know what gold is, but I know that's a sure bet right now, just judging what I'm seeing, half the rest of the world switching to. But silver is definitely good right now. OGW, you should get more firewood for the coming winter to be safe, not sorry. Tom Hawk, that's exactly what this old timer said to me. I told him I only need a cord and a half, and he said get more. Actually, I only need a cord. I know I can survive up here on a cord if I'm really lean. So a cord and a half is extra for me, but like I said, firewood is like having money in the bank. The more firewood you have, the richer you are, at least in my books. The richer in my world you are. Tony Gilbert, I'm a dragon, hoard gold. Okay, you hoard gold? Mike Jam, I'm never a Scram Lake where they filmed Golden Pond. Okay, that's not for me. It was in spam. I found it. I got it together. Lol. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, I don't know why it's sending it to spam. Mr. Gas, paid for your trip into town. Well, Mr. Gas, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. I can't check it now. I guess I can, but it's kind of rude for me to do this online, but I'll do just to confirm. Sorry, guys. I know how rude of me. What else we got going here? Whoa, holy moly, Mr. Gas, thank you. Very much appreciated. I was looking at $18 in my PayPal. I no longer have a bank, guys. I gave up on banks. I don't keep any sort of balance in a bank account anymore. I gave up on banks, and so PayPal is my my only source of having access to finances. But thank you, Gas. That's I'm up from $18. My total wealth now. You made that a lot better. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm going to buy a steak when I go into town too. Thank you. Where were we? $5 is crazy. I pay $3.20 a gallon for gas. Just got 2 gallons for $5.20. Sorry, Tony Gilbert. I missed where you're from. What area you're in? Okay. Mr. Artiford, off-grid warrior, water, food, and shelter are gold. Absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. They are gold. And every day, life might be a little challenging up here, guys, at times, but, there are people way worse off. I'm not in a bad state at all, guys, but, there are people struggling out there. They have jobs. They work jobs and are still coming home to, overwhelming bills. I keep on seeing people talking about health insurance going up. Everything just seems to be skyrocketing. And, I personally know people that, have full-time jobs and are still struggling. These are responsible, hardworking people, just trying to feed themselves and pay insurances. And it's challenging just for them. So my lights just came on their own. I'm in a smart home, actually. It's a little too bright in here for me, guys. I don't know about you, but it feels very bright. Yeah, I see a lot of people struggling right now, guys. And these aren't lazy people. I've got absolutely nothing to complain about. Nothing. What did I miss here? Stephen, you planning on moving to, New Hampshire? I haven't really been up to that area. I've spent time up in New York State, New York City, Long Island. But I haven't really been into, I've been up to all over Rhode Island, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, all the coastal areas off the main coast. But I haven't really been inland in that area. Maybe someday. I think, guys, it looks like Christmas is going to be very expensive for everybody. And if you're used to convenient, well-priced items on shelves, gentlemen, you might be in for a little bit of a shocker here coming up in the next month or two. But what do I know? I'm just some special needs guy with a dog up on a mountain. John Doe, greetings. Good to see you, sir. Have I missed you, or did you just drop in? Good to see you, sir. Sign me up for off-grid cabin. No internet. I will do it. You guys have heard me say this before. I was a little more productive when I didn't have internet up here. The first couple years I got up here, no internet. I don't have any wireless signal. I don't have a contract for my phone anymore. Not only do I not have a bank account anymore, guys, by choice, but I do not carry a cell phone contract either. Nor do I have health insurance. I just pour bleach and Clorox in my mouth when I have a problem. That is not health advice, okay? Where was I? Mid-Atlantic gas is the same. Cigarettes in New York are crazy. Where are we? Sorry, guys, I'm falling behind here on chat. And you guys seem to be talking to yourselves there. I don't want to get involved in your convos. Good time to reduce pointless consumerism. Mike, those are very true words. Very true words. Again, less is more. And all that stuff you're going to accumulate is eventually going to become a burden. And then if you're fortunate enough to pass with lots of loving family around you, you're going to find that your family's either going to fight about your stuff, or they're going to be very quick in getting rid or selling the stuff that you've accrued or collected over the years. So it's best to, go light. Go light. Tony Gilbert, my state. Okay, smokes, guys. I'm way out of the loop when it comes to cigarettes. I tried smoking when I was a young man, a young kid. And, all the cool kids were smoking. So I tried really hard to be a cool kid. I remember picking up a cigarette or a pack of cigarettes and trying to smoke them. And guys, I just felt sick every time. And eventually I realized, man, I don't know if I want to be, if being this cool is important to me. So I never got into the habit. It was just too revolting. Mike Jam, I'm selling everything I'm not using now. That's that's a big step to take for a lot of people, guys, to shed stuff. But it's an important one. It's an important one. It can be. I know. I think I've had this little chat before, guys. But if anybody's thinking about getting out of the city or moving rural and just being your own man, there are certain areas I'd advise you to perhaps spend on. And spend on the right things. Like before I bought my first property out in Washington, I spent time, instead of spending money on silly things, I would buy like the best shovel I could, even though it was expensive, or the best pickaxe. So I would spend money on tools, things that I could use by hand to make things happen, in a rural environment. So pickaxes and shovels, toolboxes, tools, those sort of things, spend money on. Collect those things, so when you're ready to go and pull the trigger, so to speak, you have the things that you're going to need. That would be a smart way of, if you're really into buying stuff, buy tools you can use with your hands. Do you have moose? Tony, we do have moose, not a lot. We have the occasional, it's really this time of the year in our snow season where they kind of appear. We don't have, we're not a prolific moose area, but we have the occasional 1 or 2 or 3 that cruise up here. I have the same big boy moose that moves through here in winter. He takes the same path and he hangs out in the same area. And I occasionally, in winter, I'll bump into him in the middle of the road on my snowmobile. He's just got this pathway and route that he moves in the snow season up here. And then he disappears, and I don't see him or any other moose as soon as the snow disappears. So, but they're I won't say rare, but they're far more elusive than any of the other big game. I'm glad kids these days aren't smoking as much as I smoked when I was a young man. Yeah, Tony, they're not smoking cigarettes, but they're doing all sorts of other things. Mike P, that's a major lesson. Buy once, cry once. Today, many things are meant to expire sooner than later and be thrown out. Yeah, Mike P, I had this conversation a while back with a friend of mine, and the old days of building something that would last forever. I always use the vacuum cleaners or vacuuming machines. Back in the day, I remember you had these old like metal vacuums, the Kirby's, like all metal, all steel vacuum cleaners, and they just lasted forever. As long as you could buy filters, and they still manufactured filters or bags. Sometimes you had aftermarket bags for these old vacuums. It would just keep on running, and then they just started to break after a couple of years. And I think iPhone or Apple really ushered in this new idea of new versions and new models every year or every couple of years. And so everybody has got into this idea of something becomes obsolete. It's either got a built-in obsolescence somehow, things just stop working in it, or the battery degrades, or the screen degrades, forcing you into an upgrade, or now it's done with software. They won't support that version anymore. You've got to get the new hardware to support the new software. And so, modern man's continuously being pushed in this direction to just consume. And I won't even get into advertising and marketing nowadays. It's just so prolific. You can't look anywhere without being having some kind of advertising thrown in your face. I notice. I'm definitely a noticer, guys, and I avoid advertising and marketing like the plague. But so I notice it everywhere. Even if I just stand out at the checkout stand in a grocery store, they put the magazine racks there right next to you. So when you're standing waiting, they try to occupy your eyeballs, even though you're there for a purpose to check out. They want to still grab you. So you're forced to look at these magazine covers with, who's sleeping with who and this and that. It's quite gross. But don't get me going down that tunnel, guys. You know how I can get. Okay, where are we? Planned obsolescence, Tony. Yeah. Opulence. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Planned obsolescence, I'm guessing. Mike Jam, how do you do laundry? Mike Jam, I never do laundry. I only do laundry maybe about 3 times a year. That's why I have no friends that come and visit me. No. Spring and summer months, Mike Jam, I fill a 2 tubs of water, totes, a plastic tote that you buy at a supermarket. I fill them with water and I just hand wash. And sometimes I'll kick my boots off and, I'll walk like I'm squishing grapes. I wash my clothing underfoot and then, just rinse them in the clean water and do a few loads that way. That's how I do laundry. And then if I'm extremely lucky in the winter months, the rare occasion I go into town, I'll take a laundry bag with me, and depending on donations that I've received during streams, I'll go to the laundromat in town and have my laundry done. Yeah, that's a lot of information there on my laundry, sir. So that's how it's done. That's how it's done up here. Okay, what did I miss there? But one of the assurances of life is that a Honda will run forever. I may have missed that chat. If you're talking about Honda generators or Honda small engines in general, guys, are just definitely the best way to go. I'm a huge fan of Honda. The problem is I've never been able to afford Honda. So, I go with the next best thing. New vehicles with 50 computers in it. Yeah, don't get me started with that. So you're from the UK. Who's your club? Tony, I'm not from the UK. I'm an African man. True. And I don't... Soccer is not really my thing. If I'm forced to watch a sport, it will not forced. I enjoy rugby and I enjoy ice hockey. I didn't grow up with ice hockey. But I do appreciate it. I have seen a couple live games over the years and enjoyed it. But I'm really a rugby guy, and that's about it. Hydrogen peroxide. John Doe, are you referring to me? Hydrogen peroxide in my mouth? Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, I agree. Mike P47, we don't even need new cars every year. It's a waste of materials, yeah. Guys, I was once in that loop of, I've got to go onto the lot and buy a brand new. I've got to turn the lights down here, guys. It seems very bright. Hang on, guys. I need to find my remote control for my solar lights, which I always seem to lose. High tech. Oh, much better. Okay. What was I talking about? Hydrogen peroxide. Sorry, guys, I forgot my train of thought there. Apologies if I just dropped off the cliff there. I don't know what I was talking about. New cars are poop. Gotcha. Yeah, I think the Japanese vehicles in general, just from what I understand, run longer than, particularly, I would say older US cars. I haven't bought a new American car ever, actually. But I have been through a few old Chevy vans and Chevy, GMC, same thing, Fords. And I can tell you what, older trucks tend to fall apart. In my experience, guys, particularly with Chevy vans, and it's either the door handle or the ceiling felt material starts dropping off, or the rearview mirror breaks off, or the window knob, or just things break in I'd say 80s and 90s US automobiles. I just find things break a lot. That's why there's so many aftermarket parts for these US trucks and so on, because they break all the time. And that's not me being mean on US motors, guys. I just find the Japanese vehicles seem to last longer, particularly with all the little things inside. They don't typically break and fall off so easily. But things could be different now, guys. It's been a long time since I bought a new car. I'm way behind chat here. Toyota from 10 to 12 years ago is still pretty good. One computer super reliable. A good friend of mine has a Toyota 4Runner. Is it a Toyota 4Runner? Yeah, I think one of the earlier models. I forget now. They might be like close to 300,000 miles. It still goes strong. It looks great. They look after it. And it's still a strong runner. Okay, where are we? Mr. Arif, MMA fighting. I don't know. Did I miss something about MMA fighting? I don't mind mixed martial arts fighting. I don't like its current iteration. You know, back in the early days of, before UFC was a thing, I paid attention. And then the first few years of UFC, the early years, I paid attention. And then it just seemed to get a little stale for me. Yeah, I think it's got a little. I do respect and appreciate the fight game, but I don't think I enjoy the acting that seems so prevalent. Call me old school, guys. Where are we? Can you get a moose tag? I can, John Doe. I don't know if I want to take a moose, though. A moose, I'm not into big critters because I'm one guy with a tiny cooler for a fridge. By tiny cooler, I mean, this is the size of my fridge, guys. It's like 2 foot by 1 foot. So, winter I can hang and will hang meat up outside. But I have to wait till, winter's here and it's cold outside. Just having too much is... A moose is a big animal for one guy. And, storage is kind of a thing for me. I mean, the only meat that... I won't say it was terrible. The only meat that didn't excite me, and I've had it a couple times now, and both times I was like, meh, is bear. I found bear to be, it just didn't sit well with me. I had a steak once, a chunk of meat. It wasn't a bear that I had taken, and then I had sausage. The first time I had bear was sausage, and both times it just not a fan. Everything else I'm a fan of. I've actually true story, but I did have a cougar steak about 4 years ago, and surprisingly delicious. Not anything I took, but someone else did, and I happened to get my hands on some meat. It was good. I know, weird. True story. Okay. Mike Jam. My GMC Sierra 2003 has 286 miles and still going, 0 engine and transfer work. That's impressive, Mike Jam. I don't know. Do you beat it up at all? Is it a workhorse? Because every single GMC that I've had, and I've had 2 now, just ended up being a nightmare of like constantly getting parts, starter motors, things going out on them. But they were both workhorses. They were trucks that had multiple owners before me. One of them had been like a wood truck. Someone had used it for getting firewood in it and hauling firewood. So they were trucks that were beat down. But I'm sure if you look after a vehicle long enough and do every single bit of maintenance to it, it's going to last. I got a 75 Cadillac and it runs like a top, but it's a land yacht. Lol. Tony, I love old Cadillacs. I call them pimpmobiles. There's just something about the old school pimpmobile caddy that I like. I have been in several, and it is a plush ride. It's like being in a very heavy couch with a lot of very plush suspension. Actually, my favorite vehicle is a Lincoln. I think it's a 67 Lincoln Continental. It's 67 or 77, I should know. I think it's a 67. It's the one that had the lights that actually rolled up. It's got the square front, but they had a model where the lights would flip up. The ultimate pimpmobile, the Lincoln Continental. I think it's a 67. Might have that wrong, but I think I'm right. Anyway, so we're back on the car talk, guys. Have you ever been using a smokehouse? Tomahawk, have you not been watching my streams, sir, or my videos? I actually have used it many times. I've probably only posted 2 or 3 videos of me actually using it, but I've used it many more times than that. Yeah, man, what I do is I use it as a slow smoker. So it takes 3 or 4 days for me to smoke something in there, or cold smoking is the correct term. And so usually I do strips of meat that I hang up in there and then cold smoke it for 3 or 4 days. And then usually by day 5, I've eaten it all. I usually buy these small chunks of meat when I can afford them. I'll buy a good chunk of meat, like a London broil or something like that. I like something with a bit of fat in it. And so I'll slice it up into strips and then hang the strips and smoke them that way. I have a few videos out there, Tomahawk. Tony Gilbert, I'm sorry, your accent sounds like a UK, but you're African. Got it. Yes, sir. I am a white African. Tony Gilbert, oh man, you need a chest freezer. Yeah, chest freezer, it would have to be propane or some super efficient DC 12-volt operated chest freezer. Remember, there's no power up here. I'm off grid, Tony. So it's not like I have a giant, batteries up here to run things with. I have essentially 3 100 amp hour lead acid batteries. They're sealed lead acid batteries. They're built for or designed for solar charging. They're not AGM, they're not gel, they're lead acid. And so 3 100 amps batteries is what I have, which are really tough to keep charged during winter months like now. I have to run the generator a couple times a week to keep them topped up. Okay, where are we? I used to have an 85 F-150 for camping. Red interior, cherry red interior. That sounds deluxe. Nice. I bet you the ladies were impressed with that cherry red interior. A working cruise control too. Nice. Oh, you got a smokehouse. Nice, my friend has a smokehouse from the 1700s at his house. It was built in 1794. Yeah, Tony Gilbert, if you look at, I have a couple videos out there that showcase my smoker. I might even have some stuff early that showed me building it. It looks like an outhouse. Actually, most people, when they see it, ask me if it's an outhouse. It's not an outhouse, it's a smokehouse. It's an outhouse smokehouse. Bear meat cooked in pork fat is the best way to fix it. Well, I mean, pork fat is good, delicious. I can imagine maybe that would help. when I'm doing super well up here, Mr. Artifit, I do tend to have a pack of bacon up here, and I use the fat that renders. If I fry bacon, I always keep the fat and I use it in foods. And I like to only buy the good bacon. You're not going to find me buying Hormel or some brand like that. I typically look for some bacon that's from at least my state and is not from some kind of mass-produced Tyson or Hormel factory. I look for local bacon if I can. I won't buy anything else, but I do keep the fat and I use it in other things. Sometimes before I go to bed, I even take the bacon fat out of my pan and I spread it on my face. I mean, that's why I'm so youthful, guys. I do rub it in my eyes. That's why my eyesight is great. So I use fats all the time. No, I don't put bacon fat on my face, but yeah, I love it. It tastes great. Root cellar, tomahawk. I would love to have a root cellar up here. It really would be nice, but I need. There is no digging up here unless you have heavy equipment. I've done a lot of hand digging around here, and it's impossible. You're just hitting rocks and boulders. So somebody with some kind of little backhoe. I don't think it would have to be a big one. Something tracked that could come up here and dig, because I have the slopes, so we wouldn't have to dig in very far on a slope, right? We could just do something smallish, maybe like 10 foot in and 10 by 5 or 10 by 8, 10 by 10, and then I would just bolt a front to it and seal it with earth or something. But it would require some kind of backhoe digger up here. Thinking you could borrow the Kubota tractor. Tomahawk, that Kubota tractor is, those of you that have spent a lot of time on a tractor know that tractors are not the best for digging. They're great on scooping and dragging. They're not diggers, unless you have a Kubota, a larger Kubota with a little, digger on it. But the tractor that I could have access to and could loan is not a great digger. It doesn't have a digging bin. It can't scratch. It can only dig in like that. And as soon as it hits a medium-sized boulder up here, it stops. It's very difficult to dig a hole with a tractor. Have you been keeping wet batteries with distilled water? Mike P, yeah, mine are sealed lead acid. So there is no filling them. They're sealed batteries, typically used for solar panels, and it's kind of the lead acid battery equivalent to an AGM battery. Different, but a lead acid equivalent. There is no maintenance on them. But I do. These batteries did sit for like a year, and I've noticed that the last 25% of them, when I charge them to full, they'll drop that 25 real quick and then go slow from 75 down. And I think it's because they sat for so long at, not topped up or used, that have developed some kind of mystery memory. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure there's some technical terminology for it. But I've been looking for some of these battery chargers available now. They're also do this repair. They pulse the battery somehow that can restore it when the battery has some kind of memory issue from not being used or standing for a long time. And so that's something I've been looking at. And I think you can pick something up on Amazon for $50, $55. But I really do need something like that. But it's just not a priority. But I think that would be a good purchase. Something that can restore or repair batteries, because they're fairly new. I've just been sitting them. I sat on them for a year before I used them. Anyways, Hotel Alpha. Did I miss a joke there? Sorry if I'm missing your chats there, guys. I apologize if you've sent something and I miss it. Mike Jam, do you drink alcohol at all? If yes, how often and where do you get it? No, Mike Jam, I don't drink alcohol at all. Let's just say that I have a very storied career of alcohol drinking from a very early age. I grew up in the Caribbean and had a lot of freedom real early. So I was at the bar age 14 and 15. I was night clubbing at the bar, drinking alcohol very early. And let's just say I made a good career out of it for some time. But do I drink now? No. It's been almost 9 years that I haven't touched alcohol. If I was drinking alcohol, living this lifestyle, I'd be getting nothing done, and life would be wouldn't look like it does now, I can tell you that. But I have no problem with people who do choose to drink, as long as, everything in moderation and you're functioning and doing well in life, that's fine. But not for me. I don't do well when I drink, so I stay away from it. I used to be an expert, let's just say that. Tom Hawk, I think some of the Kubotas, the larger Kubotas that are available, have attachments that you can hook up to the PTU on the back that can dig. But the tractor I have access to is not an option for that. Beets preparation. The next couple of days, if you're talking about my beetroot, Mr. Hardyford, I got to start pickling in the next 2 or 3 days. If this freeze happens, I'll be losing the leaves, the beet leaves. Beets are fine in the ground, even after the freeze, but I do need to start pulling them out of the ground and getting them ready for pickling. I do love the pickled beetroot. It's my favorite pickled item. Mike P47 sulfation. Oh, the battery issue is called sulfation. I think you might be onto something there. I may have read something about that at some point. The problem with trickle charging for me with 3 100 amp hour batteries, Mr. Hardyford, a trickle charge, I'd have to be running the generator for so long. It's not feasible for me. Trickle charge is especially, I'm talking about here in winter, a trickle charge is not really an option for me. I really need like a 20 amp charger with a repair mode, or that pulse mode for lead acid that can repair a battery. No, you just made me laugh. What did I make you laugh about, Hotel Alpha Alpha? Mike Jam, good for you. Talking about putting bacon fat on your face, okay. It's my beauty regimen. TN Outdoors, long time no see from Tennessee Outdoors. Greetings, Tennessee Outdoors, good to see you. Yeah, I do remember your name. It has been a while. I haven't streamed for about a month. This is the first stream in a month, Tennessee Outdoors. So you haven't missed much, my friend. But thanks for swinging in. I think we're kind of getting to the end of the chat, guys. How long we've been going? 5:30. We've been going for 2 hours. I see the viewers. A lot of viewers have dropped off in the last half an hour. But I appreciate you guys hanging on and chatting. We'll go for a little bit longer, but we'll start winding it down. Bacon fat on your face. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll be sending you a card soon. We'll take a wild duty holiday on Monday. There's a holiday on Monday? Oh, Columbus Day. Columbus Day. Do they still call it Columbus Day, Tomahawk? Is that permitted? Mr. Hardyford, next camping out. Are you asking me when I'm camping out? Again, it looks like it's probably going to be in winter, yeah. Mr. Hardyford, There's so much I wanted to do this summer with getting out and going somewhere, but zero happened. I've barely left this mountain. Now we're going into winter where it becomes very difficult to leave. So, is what it is. If that's your question, if I'm camping out soon, I'm really going to push for something in winter. I'm going to be trying to put out some YouTube videos here, guys, that are standalone videos. As we go into winter here, and I start thinking about starvation. I know that's a little dramatic, guys, but yeah, I got to figure something out here again. So, yeah, hopefully be doing something soon, Mr. Artiford, if that was your question. Briefly on batteries, when time comes to replace them, Life PO4 are cheaper per usable amp hour. 150 amp hour of lithium would equal to what you have now in a fraction of the cost. Really, Chris? Really? Are you sure? I find that hard to believe. Not that I've researched this recently, but that from what I've seen, those batteries are way more expensive than sealed lead acid. I mean, maybe something's happened recently. If it hasn't happened recently, I think most of those batteries are made in China. We're in for those prices are going to spike pretty soon, guys. All your favorite items on Amazon, those good electronics that work well and are cheap, are going to be very expensive here shortly. Anyways. Chris James, I'll have to look into, not that I'm in a position to buy batteries now, but I mean, I'll take a look at what they cost now. That's interesting. I appreciate that. I'll look into it. Mike Jam, hope to see you again. I enjoyed sharing your stories and experiences. Mike Jam, thanks for swinging by, man. Thank you for the questions. Appreciate you hanging out, man. Please do pop in again. We'll shoot for next week, guys. Unless my computer fails or something weird happens, I'll be online next weekend stream. Tomahawk, Chris James, and bacon fat on your face may keep the dog from running off. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. The problem is buying the bacon, guys. I got to buy the bacon. On that note, talking about bacon, guys, I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to shill my link there. If anybody besides Mr. Gas can help out the stream and support the channel, feel free to check the link in the chat, and I appreciate, guys, for those of you who have helped out, or even if you don't help out, if you don't donate, or if you're not able to support, I totally get it, guys. I understand, and I appreciate you being here anyway and just sort of chatting. So that's the last time I'll put that link in chat, guys, I promise. Okay. Tony Gilbert, yeah, China now is a bad idea, but there's way around. But fell companies that have warehouses, no import tax or nothing. Yeah, there's roundabouts and things happening right now, Tony. But if they continue, I think the days of well-priced items may be over. We'll all be spending more money on everything pretty soon. There'll be workarounds short term and people still sitting on inventory. Anyways, what do I know? Chris James, you can use a lithium to 100% capacity where lead acid should only be charged 50%. Yes, I'm aware of that. That Chris James, that is a downside. You're right. Now, I guess if you're factoring that 50%, that I can see where maybe the amp hour cost might be less, but I think the actual battery itself, the initial amount of money you need to investment is typically higher than a lead acid battery. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna let Ranger out. It's definitely getting busy up here. You know, anytime there's seasonal changes, guys, animals start moving. They change their routine at every season change, and so now there's a lot of movement, and activity in different directions that haven't happened for the last 4 or 5 months. Animals start behaving differently. And anyway, so the dog's out barking. I've had quite a bit of coyote scat again in new places. I don't typically see it throughout the year, but everything's moving differently. And, we just had the bow hunters, and I don't know where we are now with rifle season. Like everybody and their grandmothers out here driving around with their rifles sticking out their car window. So it's, I pick up a lot of beer cans this time of the year in the woods. Let's put it that way. Not that I'm opposed to hunting, guys. We'll, not opposed to it. It's just like, let's not leave our beer cans in the woods, all right? Mr. Gas, I was just last night. Hang on, guys. Where did I put him? Yeah, I know. How many streamers do you know that boast about their sweet boots? Yeah, Mr. Gas, just last night I was cleaning out around my wood stove. It's that time of the year, right? I cleaned the chimney and I came down here. I was taking all the soot that I'd cleaned out of the chimney. I was taking it out of the box. And usually in, the spring and summer months, the area around my stove is, a storage area. But yesterday I was clearing everything out and I had some boots in a shoebox, which finally made their way out of the shoebox in anticipation for winter. I'm showing off my shoes, guys. Yeah, that was Mr. Gas. Thank you. Mr. Gas was kind enough to send me some sweet boots. He probably saw the holes in last winter's boots, so this winter will be a little more comfortable. So yes, Mr. Gas, I've pulled the boots out of the box, and I'm going to be putting them on pretty soon here. Thank you. See previous post about the holiday. Tomahawk. I'm scrolling up. It's in the link below the video. Tomahawk, we do and always have our losers celebrate the other nonsense. Okay, I'm off track here, Tomahawk. We'll be sending a card soon. I got that one. Holiday on Monday through Columbus Day.
Mike Jam tipped $10 through Super
We do and always have a loser celebrate that. Okay, gotcha. Mike Jam with a $10. Thank you, sir. It's not often, Mike Jam, that I get donos on the through PayPal. I almost had to do a triple take when the yellow box appeared. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Very kind of you, sir. Big thumbs up for Mike Jam. Tony Gilbert, indeed, Ford, I keep beeswax, good wood sealant. Yeah, I do. I typically use some kind of wax on my boots. These are leather. I need to get something on them before I go out in them. The stuff I like to use out here in this part of the world is called Oberhoffs. It's been a while since I bought it. It comes in a black tub. It's very popular with the firefighters and their boots. It's expensive stuff. I believe it's some kind of beeswax. Maybe it's got some other stuff in there, but I usually like to coat my boots up with that. I'll put a good coating on it and then put my boots next to the wood stove overnight. So I heat the boots up, let that wax soak into it, and in the morning I'll put another coat of the wax on the boots. So we'll do that here shortly. Thanks, Mike Jam. Appreciate it, mate. Lol, hunting from a vehicle is illegal. John Doe, that would be correct. I'm not... It happens out here. I see it. I'm often, let's just say, hiding in the woods, and I see these guys with rifle ends sticking through the window, just cruising up the mountain, cruising down. They don't really get out of the pickup truck. They're literally waiting for something to run across the road or to spot from their truck. And, you know, each their own. I don't consider that hunting. That's more just like driving. And those are the guys who typically throw the beer cans out the windows along the side of these roadways. So, you know, just because you own a rifle doesn't mean you have brains. Sorry, guys. Bringing the dog in. Get in here. Now, I know for some of the older gentlemen, perhaps may not be spry on their feet anymore, and you know they may have a legitimate reason to staying closer to the truck. I don't have a problem with that. I understand, guys. You know, but anyways. Where are we? Thanks, Mike Jam. Yeah, okay. Tom Hawk, have a good evening, OGW, and everyone going to hang out with the wife before she crashes out for the night. Good for you, Tomahawk. You got your priorities straight there, sir. But thanks for hanging out, Tomahawk. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Snow Seal works pretty good. Yeah, Mike. I don't believe I've heard of that one. You know, you just stick to what you know is good once you kind of find something that works well, right? But I don't think I've ever seen Snow Seal. Is it like spray-on or a beeswax? Tony Gilbert, yeah, I need some leather sealant for my coats. Chris James, OGW, post the link to the other chat again. I thought I joined, but can't find it. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, Chris James, this is, I don't know, maybe you signed up on the old site. I was actually hosting on Google Cloud, and then that went down, and I lost access to that. But this is a whole new site that I've set up, and it's still work in progress, guys. It's a little sparse now, but I'm working on it. But yeah, Chris James, that's the link over there. You got to register, and I'll be doing some exclusive stuff over there. I know exclusive sounds so lame, I know, guys. Let's just say I'm going to be doing some stuff that's not on YouTube. I'd like to do something for you guys where we can just hang out and chat and speak freely about whatever. YouTube's not the ideal place for real open chat. So yeah, yada yada. Leather keeps the chill out, but wool is the king and keeps you warm. Yeah, wool is great, but wool sucks when it gets wet. And I will tell you about. Not only does wool suck when it gets wet, but it can stink too after it's got wet. But wool is superior. If you can keep wool garments dry, then you're golden. Now I'm all about the wool. Just it's got to stay dry. Mr. Gas, true statement. Owning a rifle don't mean you own a brain. Love it. Yeah, sadly, you know, and as as a rifleman, a once rifleman, you know, again, I'm all for certain freedoms, but it's unfortunate that morons also have access to freedom. But that's just the way it is. Snare is. Did I miss something there about snare and trap? Snare is, unless one shot deal, trapping is the way to go. I'm not opposed to snaring or trapping. I don't have a problem with trapping at all, but as long as you do it. We have trappers up here too that like to trap from the comfort of their pickup truck. I don't consider that trapping. That's just kind of lazy man stuff. And they like to set trap and bait along roadways. And, you know, I have a hound that runs along roadways. So I consider it extremely unprofessional for a trapper to bait and snare near roadways. It's highly unprofessional and does raise some ethical questions about the person. That's if you're going to trap, it needs to be pretty far from people's homesteads, from their pets, their animals, and from roadway travel. But we have a couple out here that literally like to just trap from their pickup trucks. But it's what it is. Yeah, beeswax. I mean, it will darken the leather a little bit, but who cares? I mean, it's about protecting and keeping your leather healthy as long as possible. Chris James, copy that. My link was #chat. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys who have logged in, signed up, and used the chat. Okay, let's get back on track here. I never understood why I'd see, not that I watch streamers, but these guys with like 2 monitors or sometimes more monitors. There's just a lot to watch when you're streaming. If you're running software and looking at chat and checking your video, it's hard to do that all on one screen. That's my excuse, guys. I'm sticking to it. Whenever I see a tool, I char it first. Finish ends up perfectly every time. Oh, seal a tool. Okay, gotcha. I char it first. Finish ends up perfectly every time. Charring. What type of tools are you talking about? Sealing. What kind of tool and what would you char? Nah, trapped by road, never. I'm deep in the woods, man. Yeah, and that's the way it should be. Tony, I have several axes. I just pulled them out again. They were behind the wood stove. Where did I put them? Sorry, guys. I just pulled my axes out. Did I put them outside? Sorry guys, it's like I've lost my wallet. When I can't find my axes, I get concerned. Come in here. Come. These are a little dusty at the moment, or very dusty. They've been sitting behind the wood stove for the spring and summer months. This is a steel axe with German steel for the head. It's got this collar, this metal collar here, which I really like. It's if you miss your chops a lot and smash the wood on your axe, having a collar like this is nice. This is a good felling axe. That's a favorite one, but really my 2 most favorite are these 2. These are Husqvarna axes, guys, and this is kind of a carpenter's axe. The carpenter's axe is nice if you're kind of working and doing kind of carpentry work on logs. You want finer work, something you can control, peel with. The Husqvarna carpenter axe and it's Swedish steel too. It's a fantastic axe, guys. Love this axe. You don't need to spend $200 on these exotic brands. just look for a Husqvarna axe, and you're getting great Swedish steel, which is excellent. It's an excellent steel to sharpen. It sharpens really easy, but it also holds an edge. It's a good combination of holding an edge and being soft enough to sharpen in the field. That's the nice thing about Swedish steel. German steel is much harder. This is a modern steel, much harder. It's more brittle, but they're tough axes, the steel axes. They're not cheap, the steel brand, but there are good axes. And then I have my small sort of backpacking camping. This is a felling axe, small felling. Again, it's a Husqvarna. So, yeah. Do you like me now? This wasn't supposed to be an axe show. And then, of course, I have my splitting axe, which is the modern Fisker's axe. I stayed away for as long as I could from synthetic handles, plastic handles. I was late to the show when it came to plastic handles. I just refused to buy anything plastic, but I finally settled on, after using one, I settled on a Fisker's heavy axe for splitting. I really need a maul. I don't have a splitting maul. I'll probably get a Fisker's. They're about $70. Anyways, those are my axes. I forgot who asked, but there you go. Hickory, yes. Hickory is the preferred handle. I'm not sure about what's on the... I think the steel might be hickory. Okay. Don't ever bother with an all-steel axe like those E-wing. That's not an axe. Those E-wing axes I see sometimes guys online have. Actually, it's been a while since I've watched anything to do with axes, but don't ever waste your time with an all-steel axe, all-metal axe, where the handle's the same as the head. Don't waste your time. Those are garbage. Yeah, that steel axe is if you're taking down trees, that's what you want to use. But I wouldn't use those. I mean, definitely not the carpenter's axe and that small felling axe that I showed you. I mean, you'd have to work real hard to take down something big with this. But this is, I would say this is sort of your medium axe you want to take with you if you're backpacking or going out into the woods for a while. You want something like this, not a big felling axe like the steel. This is sort of your middle ground axe. Husqvarna, guys, I'd strongly recommend Husqvarna axes. They're well priced, and I understand there are collectors, people who collect axes, and they like exotic stuff and expensive stuff. That's fine, but I'm a guy who wants to use my axe, and if I've spent $200, $250, $300 on some exotic fancy axe, I'm never going to use it. It's going to hang on a wall, and I can boast about it. Okay, where are we? Well, the Germans can definitely make an axe. They sent the Roman army packing with axes. Okay, guys, I think we're going to start winding it down, but what did I miss here? I missed quite a lot here. Sorry, guys. Tony. Private land, trap hunt, don't like anyone knowing my business. I'm with you on that, Mr. Artiford. Axe handles, mostly I char them and seal them. Okay. I've never really heard about the charring. That's kind of interesting to me, but sealing an axe is... I use... it's been a while. I need to get some oil on these axes. I use linseed oil is what I'll oil them up with. Hotel Alfalfa, I'll be sending my drawing for your wall soon. Well, I look forward to it, Hotel Alfalfa. Hotel Alpha. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Hotel Alpha. I'll be sending your drawing. Thank you. I look forward to it. Sending hickory or hickory or chestnut if I can find it. Where are we? The Germans can make an axe. You can always make a collar out of leather. That's easy. Yep, that's true. Mr. Artifact, I use hockey stick tape. Oh, hockey stick tape around the head. That's I can see that being a good use, a good way to do it. Old plums are good axes if you can find them. Old plums. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a brand? An axe and a hammer. Yep. OGW decal axes. Oh man. You got me thinking when you sent that decal. That was very kind of you, Mr. Hardyford. You know, I got to be honest with you. I was when I was down doing my changing the shock on the snowmobile, I was thinking about getting that decal on the windshield of my snowmobile, and I came up here that evening and I've been looking for that decal. I've teared into all my envelopes and boxes. I mean, I'm going to look further, but for some reason I've misplaced that decal, and it's I was really looking forward to getting that onto my windshield on the snowmobile before the freeze sets in, because once it gets cold out here, you can't put decals on anything. I wanted to get it on now, so I mean, I still have time. Hopefully I find that decal, man. Mr. Hardyford. Maybe that was me hinting at a replacement one too. I'm sure it's going to show up here quickly. I'll go through totes again in the next couple of days, but I really wanted to get that on my snowmobile before the big freeze set in. Anyways, the Fiskars are surprisingly good. I believe it's fiberglass. Yeah, Mike, it's some kind of synthetic. Did they come out? Because mine's an older one. I think it might be a synthetic mix of, it might be some plastic fiberglass mixture of some sort. I'm not sure if mine's completely fiberglass. It may be. It's outside right now. I don't want to go out, but I think it's like first generation or maybe second generation Fiskars splitting axe. It's a good few years old. By few years, I mean at least about 8 years old. It's one of the early Fiskars. It's still going strong, and I like that. I'm a convert. My big splitting maul that I dream of getting next will be some of the big rounds. I struggle with my Fiskars if they big rounds. The splitting axe I have it takes several chops, but it's not a maul. And what I need for my bigger chunks, my bigger rounds, which are the ones I have left. I've left the most difficult rounds to split last, but I really need a big, heavy Fiskars maul. They're like $70 or something, somewhere around there. I saw one a few weeks ago. I'm like, that would be nice, but not yet. Okay. I think we're going to start winding down, guys. I may have said that already. I see we have a lot of people that have dropped off. I'll read these last few messages here. I got to let the dog out again. Sorry, guys. Bucking Billy Ray knows asses. Bucking Billy Ray knows asses. I don't know. Oh, axes. Bucking Billy Ray knows axes. I don't know who Bucking Billy Ray is. Did I miss something there? Never heard of that. Ain't too many trees over 4 foot round here. Easily chop them down. Well, that's, yeah. Wow. You live in the desert? Mr. Gas Gas, going to say goodnight to all, going to get into the deer stand in the morning. Hey, Mr. Gas Gas, that's awesome. Good luck, sir. Yeah, go get him. Bring some meat home. Thanks for hanging out, Mr. Gas Gas. Appreciate you, sir. Have a good one. Tony Gilbert, Plum Factory was in Philly. It was a brand. Okay, never heard of it. Mr. Artiford, yeah, man. If you could make one more decal, you're probably going to send it to me, and then I'm going to find it. It's got to be in here. I never took it out this cabin, so. But I did spend quite a bit of time looking for it and going through things. I don't know if it's fallen behind something. I even went underneath. I lifted up the mattress that I'm sitting on here. Looked behind all my totes. It's in here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, if it's not a big deal, if you have the artwork and you could pump out another one, I'll take it. I'll get it on my snowmobile as ASAP as soon as it gets here. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Artiford. I'll take one. Best of luck to you. Thank you, Tony Gasman. Oh, are you talking to Gas? I've had my Fiskars axe and hatchet for quite a while, 10 years or so. The steel is a bit soft, but a good sharpening stone strop will keep it going. So you have a Fiskars axe and hatchet. Yeah, I've never... Does the hatchet also have a fiberglass handle? I don't think I've ever seen a Fiskars hatchet, or maybe I have, but it hasn't stood out for me. I do like their splitting axes and mauls, for sure. Tony Gilbert, Mike Nice, he uses a stone. I use I use a file, guys. I have a very fine file that I use, and then I will put a stone. I have one of those pucks. Well, it depends on the state of the axe head. If I really ding it out, I have a fine file which really just gets it to where I want it, and then I'll use one of the puck stones on it. Just a little bit of spit, and then some swipes. Anyways. Yeah, I've stayed away from all the fancy sharpening tools, or I've seen all sorts of weird things over the years. People spending money on battery-operated sharpening tools and that. It seems a little goofy to me, so I like to keep it... I like to be able to sharpen my stuff with what's in a backpack or in my pocket. You know. Learn how to sharpen your stuff with just the bare essentials. I see, I understand a lot of guys like toys, but I think a better way to go about it is learning to sharpen your blades, whether they be knives or axes. Figure out how to sharpen them. Learn how to sharpen them with the simple old school method. Chris James, good to see you, OGW, and everyone. Good evening all. Hey, Chris James, thank you, mate. I appreciate you swinging by. It's good to see you. Hopefully we'll see you next week, sir. Yes, they both do. At least I think it's fiberglass after years of misses, no damage. Okay, nice. A file, my gramps used to do that, yeah. You just get the finest file or rasp file. That, I think I've shown mine. I actually made a little sheath for it, and I can keep it in a backpack. So it's just a small little file. It's maybe about 6 or 8 inches, very thin file, and that brings an axe to where it needs to be really quick, and then just a few turns with a puck or sharpening stone, and it's good. I mean, if I wanted to cut paper, I'd be a little more fancy. Maybe finish it off with a leather strap or something, but I dull my axes because I'm working and using them. It's after a few cuts, their paper cutting edge is gone. A few chops, the paper cutting edge is gone. Okay. Oh, it's not battery operated. It's just a small sharpening stone with fine and coarse sides. portable as in for hiking, etc. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. No, I didn't think you had anything battery operated. I've just over the years seen guys buy stuff like that, and it's not necessary. Hey, good night, OGW. See you next time. Thank you, Hotel Alpha. Hotel Alpha. Really nice to see you on stream again. Thanks for swinging by, and we'll see you on the GAB. Okay, guys, I think we're going to shut it down now. The viewers have really dropped off, and it's Sunday evening. I know you guys have got work tomorrow. A lot of you have, and you got lives to live. So I appreciate everybody for hanging out tonight. It's been good. It's been almost, well, a 3-hour stream. So thank you, guys. I really do appreciate you and the support. Mr. Gas isn't here anymore, but thank him for the dono tonight, and all you guys. Thanks for the chat. It's been good. And we'll see you next week. Tony Gilbert, good to have you in, sir. Maybe you'll join us next weekend. Mike Jam, thank you, sir. Best wishes for a productive fall season. Yeah, to you too, Mike Jam. Appreciate all you guys. I think on that note, I'm going to punch out, dig up some dinner, have another cup of coffee, and ponder the yonder. Okay, guys. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully next weekend we'll see you, same time. Take it easy.